So far, we've seen robots that are able to walk, talk, and play football. Or soccer if you're one of those people. But how about robots that can go where no human has gone before? Like Mars and the Moon. Okay, calm down guys, I meant Europa, a moon of Saturn. Phew, that was a close one. Now, you might be wondering what these robots are and how they're going to explore space. Well, let me tell you something. These robots are not like the ones you see in Hollywood films. They're not going to be super smart, super strong, or super sexy. They're not going to rebel against their humans, fall in love with each other, or save the world from evil aliens. No, these robots are going to be more like glorified forklifts. They're going to carry stuff around, fix things, and maybe dig some holes. They're not going to have any personality, emotions, or free will. They're just going to follow orders from their human controllers. But hey, don't judge these robots too harshly. There's a project underway that might make humanoid robots more exciting. Now let's reveal the secret. NASA has teamed up with a small but mighty robotics company from Texas, the state of big dreams and bigger hats. They're working on a super cool project, making humanoid robots for space. Meet Apollo. Not the Greek god, the robot. That Apptronic company is developing to handle any tasks you throw at it. Well, maybe not every task, but we're optimistic. NASA and Apptronic have been buddies for a long time. They've been enhancing Apollo's skills for Earth-based jobs like manufacturing, logistics, and being awesome. But NASA is more interested in Apollo's space skills. NASA wants to adapt Apollo for space operations, such as assisting astronauts in orbit, on the Moon, or on Mars. They might even use Apollo as a remote-controlled avatar for Earth-based human operators to pilot. Imagine being able to control a robot on another planet from your couch. That would be so cool. Of course, Apollo is not just any ordinary robot. It's a modular robot, which means it can be customized and reprogrammed for different tasks and environments. However, being modular does not mean being perfect. Apollo is still a baby robot, and NASA is teaching it some robotics lessons to make it better. Actually, NASA has been playing with humanoid robots for ages, like Valkyrie, which was a contestant in DARPA's Robot Olympics in 2013, but has grown bigger and stronger ever since. Valkyrie is a 6-foot-tall robot that weighs 300 pounds and can walk on 2 legs, use tools, climb ladders, and drive cars. It was made to do heroic things in dangerous places where humans can't go. It was also supposed to be able to work by itself or with human help. Sounds like a perfect robot. Well, not really, because Valkyrie sucked big time in the DARPA challenge, tripping over itself and failing to do any of the things it was supposed to do. It was so bad, it was called the $2 million piece of trash by some people. Well, I'm starting to feel sorry for these robots. Maybe we should leave them alone. Why does NASA even need humanoid robots anyway? Why not use more specialized robots that are better suited for specific tasks or environments? Like rovers or drones or landers or crawlers or diggers or whatever. Well, NASA has a thing for humanoid robots. They think they're the best thing since sliced bread. Why? Because humanoid robots can use the same things as humans without breaking a sweat. For example, they can hammer, screw, or wrench like a champ. They don't need any special gadgets or gizmo to fit their robotic hands. They can also copy human actions and emotions for better communication and cooperation with humans. For example, they can nod, wave, or point like a star. They don't need any weird codes or signals to express their thoughts or feelings. These might not sound very exciting on Earth, but imagine you're on the Moon or Mars. That's where the magic happens. So yeah, when we think about space, we can say NASA has a good reason for wanting humanoid robots. They want them to help astronauts in space missions, especially on the Moon and Mars. These places are harsh and dangerous for humans, but robots could handle them better. Robots could do boring or risky tasks on the lunar or Martian surface far more easily and safely than humans could. For example, they could unload a lunar lander, build a shelter, dig up rock samples, find water, mine resources, do science, and support humans. They could also be reprogrammed as needed to do new tasks whenever they were required, even those that their designers didn't think of when they made them. Having such robots at human explorers' disposal would allow astronauts and Earth-based operations to focus on scientific pursuits and other more important assignments than things like manual labor or maintenance work. Because who wants to do that when you can explore the wonders of space? These robots could also help us to run and fix our cosmic factories on other planets that could turn alien rocks into useful stuff, like a space version of MacGyver. Imagine how much easier and cheaper it would be for NASA to build a cozy home for humans out of moon dust concrete than to haul one all the way from Earth. But are these so-called advantages really worth the hassle? The answer is yes, but there are also some drawbacks. Let me explain. Humanoid robots are more complex and costly than other kinds of robots. They need more power and intelligence to operate. For example, they need batteries, solar panels, or generators to keep them going. We need processors, sensors, or cameras to keep them smart. They're also more likely to fail and mess up because of their many parts. These robots have joints, motors, and wires that can rust or snap. They also have software, algorithms, or protocols that can go haywire or crash. Can they really handle a sandstorm on Mars? We don't know yet. Now, don't go anywhere because NASA has a bunch of other robots that they're working on or planning to send to space, like CoStar, a project that wants to make robots explore the dark and spooky caves of the Moon and Mars. CoStar is like a scout for future human explorers, or maybe their replacement. But we also can't forget about NASA's Dragonfly mission, which will launch a flying robot to Titan, one of Saturn's moons, in 2027. Titan is a weird place that has lakes and rivers of liquid methane, mountains of ice, and a thick orange atmosphere. It might even have some kind of life under its frozen surface. Dragonfly will fly over Titan in 2034 and look for clues about how life started on Earth and if it exists elsewhere in the solar system. This robot will fly farther and faster than any land-bound rover could ever do, and its development is a major challenge for NASA with some very high risks. But NASA is not alone in making humanoid robots. Many other players are in the game too. For example, SpaceX has Simon, a floating ball that can talk, play, and joke with astronauts in space. Boston Dynamics has Atlas, a gymnast that can run, jump, and flip like a ninja. Toyota has Q, a shooter that can score basketballs like a champ. Q is so good that it could probably beat Stephen Curry in a shooting contest. Well, at least in a free throw contest, because Q has set a Guinness World Record for the most consecutive basketball free throws by a humanoid robot, assisted, scoring 2,020 shots without missing. Q has also participated in several basketball games and events, impressing both fans and players with its skills. As you can see, humanoid robots are so amazing. They can perform any task with ease and never get tired. Oh, but they do have batteries, right? So they will get tired eventually, just not as soon as we do. And I'm sure they'll be very useful in space as well. Space travel is already devastating to our body, and having a humanoid robot on the spacecraft could change everything if something goes wrong with the crew or the spacecraft. So yeah, even though humanoid robots can be creepy at times, they are our key to breaking the limitations of the human body. Speaking of the human body, you won't believe what happens to our body in space travel. Trust me, you'll appreciate the Earth much more after watching this video on the screen. And now we've reached the part where I ask you to support our channel. I know it sounds cliche, but it really helps us grow and brings you more awesome space news. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, see you next time with more awesome space news.